All right, we're in the garage. I know a lot of times you guys watch my videos and you think to yourself, wow, he makes that look so easy. 30-minute install for this, 30-minute install for that. Well, that's a bunch of baloney. I'm gonna show you guys today some of the struggles that I'm having today with my Maverick R. Some stuff has been easy, other stuff has not. Some of it's my fault, some of it's not. I would say maybe it's all my fault. But this is my Maverick R Red Bull. I'm your host, Frank, from G Life UTV. Today, I'm going to show you guys some of the problems that I've been facing today. Tonight, as I've been working on this machine, it's been a struggle. Although what you're seeing is a good-looking machine in development here, I have been struggling a little bit. So before we get to the struggles, let me show you guys some of the stuff that has not been a struggle and has been great. And one of those being this big, giant RPM fuel tank. So normally these guys are 13 gallons from the factory, and RPM takes up all the space in here, goes down deeper in here, and we're at 19 gallons. That's a lot. Now, I already have the RPM tanks that go underneath the seats, but we're actually going to delete the driver's side so I can put my seat lower, and we're only going to keep the passenger side and obviously this big giant tank, and we're still going to have more fuel than we had before because that was 4.5 gallons underneath the driver's seat, but this is 6 gallons more than stock, so we're still going to have over, what, 23.5 gallons, and factory's, what, 13? So 10 more gallons in stock. I'll take that any day, and I'll be able to lower my seat. So that's been great. So RPM fuel tank is in. Super happy about that. The cage is back on. If you guys didn't know, we were trying to get this done for Sancho, but there was no way. There was just so much work to be done. Shout out to Little Reapy. He helped me install my training arm that we put back on. The boys at SF Racework had repaired my chassis and put a new training arm tab. We're still going to go back so we can put this brace on. Something like that, but that'll be for later. They also fixed the chassis in the back. They basically had a chassis laying around. They cut it out from here back and then up there, and basically added this tube brand new from another chassis. And obviously we spray painted it black, and then we added this brace here to keep, you know, this whole section together. So chassis is great. There's some stuff to add, like I said, these train arm tabs and this A+ tube. We didn't get a chance to weld, or the boys didn't get a chance to weld because we didn't have enough bungs. So we ended up just doing the halves on the cage at least, so I could powder coat it. But so that's all been good. The problem has been, well, there's a lot of problems. The dash, for one, has been kind of a pain in the ass to get it to fit because of this A+ tube, right? Which, again, is not anybody's fault but my own, because I got to make it work somehow. I did cut it, and once it's down, it's not too bad. Not great, but it's not too bad. Same thing on the driver's side. Fitment-wise, everything else is good, but I am going to have to trim probably some more around those A+ bars, which, again, it's not an issue of it's going bad. It just takes so much time to get this done right, and it becomes a pain in the ass. Now, besides that, we have SF Raceworks upper arms. Unfortunately, those have also been a little bit of an issue. Not really my fault, not really SF's fault, but the guys that make their bushings, those guys can go to hell. Go to hell! These were not made correctly for those arms. They're too thick, and I tried pressing some on, I already broke some. It's been a real pain in the ass with these bushings, so SF is having the bushings guy make new bushings. So I still haven't been able to install my upper arms, which is freaking aggravating me already. The brake system, the Maverick R doesn't have bad brakes. Like, they're not terrible, but they're not great, I would say. They did improve these machines from like the X3s of the past with giant rotors and a nice big fat 3-piston caliper for the front, and I think a 2-piston in the back. I think the calipers are, you know, adequate size. The problem has been, well, not really a problem. Again, the brakes aren't bad on this machine. It's really just you're not getting enough pressure from your old master cylinder. And that's this little guy here, which is great. It did the job, but I want better braking, better performance, chasing always that better pinnacle of what the machine can be. And that's this crazy J1, or what they call it, Briber? I forgot what they call it now. Bibri. Whatever the hell. They changed the names. I don't know. This used to be J1. This is like the sister company or it's the same company. I have no idea. But we're running that as well. This new master cylinder, pretty snazzy. Obviously, it's got two separate systems. One for the front, one for the back. And then it's got this adjuster wheel here that has this cable that goes to the front that I bolted down right here, and I can adjust the bias a little bit. So if I want more front braking, I can give it more front braking. So I don't know, I haven't tried it. I've heard nothing but good things. I decided to purchase one and put it on this machine because I like to drive fast in this machine. Hence why I also added the A+ bar. So besides that, we've seen issues with the drive lines. The drive lines have snapped. I've seen them snap. I've seen people post videos. The boys at SF on their race car with a stock tune, by the way, nothing fancy, driving that car hard, broke their drive shafts as well. So on this machine, we're going to be doing Sandcraft, which is thicker gauge, should be a lot stronger, should handle the power that this machine puts down. We are on E85, so it should have, I think, 345 horsepower with the Evo E85 tune. Now, we plan to put more power to this machine, but not just yet. I want to get this machine put together and working correctly before I decide to swap the turbo. Plus, we got other machines that are not exactly running right now. If you guys saw the last video of Big Blue, it did great at the sand show, but we had to tow it in and out of the show because the tune is not correct. So we got kind of a little bit of a schedule going on with the boys over at EVP mode to put a tune on that and get that thing running. And I want that thing to be 100% before I start messing around with more performance upgrades on other machines. Gotta make sure I have something reliable. Now the Pro R right now is my golden goose because it is reliable 100%. I've said in the past, I'm trying to keep that stock at least until I get everything else where I want it to be as far as performance goes. So yes, we're doing more power, but right now 340 horsepower, we need stronger drive shafts, and that's what we're doing. And right now that has been a struggle. I had to remove all 3 bolts, and I apologize if I'm everywhere right now, but that's how my night has been. It's about 9 o'clock and I just been losing my mind in all sections of this machine working on it. But yes, the drive shaft was a pain in the ass. I actually had to remove all 3 of the engine mount bolts and jack this as far up as I could in order to remove this. Didn't realize I was gonna be that much of a pain in the ass, but it was, and this guy comes out. So I do need to swap this out. I'm assuming, hell, I don't even know how this comes out. We'll have to learn that. But that's that. We gotta deal with that. And then what else? Oh, the power steering system, or not the power steering, but the steering rack. My steering rack broke on me. So before, you know, HCR released their lower A-arms for the Mav R, they were having issues, and that issue was that the arm at full bottom out or full compressed shock would actually hit the steering rack right here. And I mean, it's barely kissing it, but it was enough to crack my rack during that rollover. So it must have, you know, compressed so much that it flexed the arm even further, and it broke the steering rack. And as you can see, that is a big no-no. Now, 2024 to 2025, the racks changed, and I was aware of this. I've seen it in some posts. I've seen it. I verified for myself because the steering rack number was different than the new 2025 number. Great, it's probably an improvement. So I reached out to the boys over at CT Raceworks, since they make this steering flag, and unfortunately, well, they told me to get bigger bolts, which I did. I purchased the bigger bolts, and they seem to be correct because the thread is also different from the 2024 to the 2025 on this block. So that works, but I'm seeing that this guy here has got like this little shoulder, and I'm assuming that's one of the improvements they made so that the bolts don't just shear off, because on this one, it's flat. I mean, it's got really nothing on the ends. It's flat on this side and flat on this side. You know, it looks like it has a lip, but it doesn't. That's just a grease mark. It's flat. So great, that's an improvement. But this flag is not gonna sit, you know, flush against this block, and I'm gonna have basically in this outline here, and it's gonna be floating. There's gonna be a gap between, and I'm thinking that's a bad idea. That's actually really bad. I'm gonna end up snapping the bolt because eventually it's gonna get loose. So yeah, and then we also bought tie rods. These are replacements from ZRP. So ZRP has been awesome since forever. We sell ZRP, we love ZRP. And then these tie rod ends, the outer ends are by CA Tech. Also another company that we offer, we sell, and we love. I'm gonna keep working at it. But gonna install the drive shafts. I'm not gonna film any of it because it's not a very organized video that we're having right now. It's mainly just a venting of the frustrations that I'm having, and it's all good. If you guys run into issues like this, do not worry. Do not be sad or afraid, or continue pushing through. There's light at the end of the tunnel. I promise.
I see a light.
So yeah, we'll keep on chooching away. I got so much to do. I mean, I haven't even tightened these mirrors. This guy has not been wired. I gotta run wires for this. I feel like I'm just like building the whole machine over again, literally. But it'll be worth it at the end. This carbon dash is gonna be sick. I'm mounting the steering bezels, or the cluster bezel, I'm sorry, up here on the dash. Our rugged radial is gonna be basically in the same spot, but right here. And then we're gonna move our switch pros to here, and then we're gonna run a regular steering wheel that doesn't have any of that stuff. Maybe just has the buttons. We're looking at the Evo setup. The center screen, it should have a bezel from Glasscraft, but they haven't given it to us yet, and that'll house our display. And then I'm thinking about putting the Garmin over there in that corner with like a RAM mount, so I could kind of pivot it towards me, but I'm not sure how stable that will be, because I mean, the carbon is strong, right? But it's also very thin, and it does flex a lot. And the tablet's pretty heavy, so not too sure exactly what I'm gonna do there, but we'll figure it out. So yeah, Mav R is coming back very soon. Well, maybe not that soon, but it'll come back eventually. I just gotta get all of my stars aligned, and yeah, maybe do a little prayer or two. But yeah, I'm excited. Got a lot of cool things on this machine. Better braking, more fuel capacity, stronger upper arms. Our front shocks got the bypass tubes from MTS, which should mean even more compression in the front shocks. The rears were already done prior to going to Oregon. That might have been what bit my ass out in Oregon, and why it bucked. Who knows? We'll learn that, you know, in the future when we huck it some more. Just want to give you guys an update. It's not all sunshines and rainbows. It's a bunch of freaking problems, but we're gonna get through this. And yeah, tonight I'm gonna keep plugging away. I'm gonna install the drive shafts, make sure all that is good. I'm thinking I'll go ahead and just do the skid plates while I'm here, and then I'm gonna take off these panels because the boys got a weld on these trailer arm brackets for the braces that I bought. And then what else? We are gonna be doing an RPM intake. The Evo one's been great, but RPM came out with this badass carbon fiber one, and since they always take care of us, we're gonna add that for sure. Yeah, and they also came out with a new catch can. I'm not sure if I'm gonna put it on this machine because I don't think it fits in this location. We'll see what they come up with, because I know that new catch can is pretty damn snazzy. Just a lot of stuff to do on this machine, but all in the name of off-roading. I love it. Well, let me know what you guys think. Just a short video. Thought I'd update you. I got lots of videos planned. It's just so hard to get to those videos when I have like these machines in front of me just slapping me in the face and staring at me. So Big Blue, obviously we want to do an overview, but I won't do it until after I get it tuned. And then Green Goblin, that's probably gonna be one of the next videos. I want to take it out to Johnson Valley, give it a good run, and then kind of give it an overview, because we got a lot of cool stuff that was new on that machine that we did for Sancho, and the machine just looks freaking extra spicy. We got new Venom wheels on it, new audio system from UTV Stereo, and then CA Tech with their full arm kit, front and back. It it looks freaking badass. A bit heavy. The car's heavy now, but I mean, oh well. Maybe we'll do something performance-wise in the future. But for the time being, the Pro R is killing it. We got to get this one on that same level. So we'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you to all my Patreon and YouTube Joy members that you just saw on the list. It's going to be one of those nights, boys. And don't worry. We're not all perfect. I struggle sometimes. Crack open a beer. You know, enjoy yourself. Take your time. The desert's not going anywhere. Update. Drive shafts in. Or drive shafts. 3-piece. 4-piece actually. The one at the engine. Into the transmission. We got this motor mount / pass-through for the main drive shaft. That's this guy. And then it goes into this, I don't know what Can-Am calls it, but it's like a disconnect. As you can see right now, look, I could turn this drive shaft, and there's no connection to this other drive shaft. So this is like a disconnect to protect the differential, and there's another drive shaft. You can't see it. You can see it from the other side. Those are all in. I'm in the process of tying up all the set screws. There's 4 here, and 1 at the drive shaft. I gotta put grease in all of them, and then I'm gonna start knocking out all these rivets so I could re-rivet basically, and put my skid plate back on in the front or in the center here. And I might as well put the rear one because I'm done back there. The services to the engine and transmission have been done recently, so I'm not worried about that. I can slap both of those on. Sometimes you contemplate, what the hell did you get yourself into? Could have just left the stock. Car runs great stock. Gotta have all that custom shit, don't you? Son of a bitch. Update, skid plates are on. Center and this rear one. This one's a factory UTV. I believe it's 3/8 thick or 1/2 inch, not sure. It's thicker, double the size than the factory one. I had cracked the factory one. I split it down the middle about 3 inches from the rear. It was just already jacked up. I basically was missing a chunk on the corner. So that's gone. We redid the S3 CV guard. Did that in red and reinstalled that. Looks great. And yeah, that is my second update. Let's see if I gotta tackle some more stuff. If not, I'll call it a night because I'm getting tired. It's 11 o'clock. Alright, another update. The door frames are on. This is very important to put these frames on, just so I make sure when they weld on the A+ bars to the chassis, they're not pulled too far towards the door, because then it'll hit. And as you can see, I only have about a 1/4 inch gap between the frame and the door hitting, and the only way I was able to achieve that is if I pivot the door this way, basically, on the bottom here. So I mean, it's gonna work. The door's not gonna be perfectly aligned, but I have to avoid hitting this, because if they're hitting, it's gonna be really annoying. I will put some foam just to protect it, but still. Yeah, so both sides are on there. The other problem was this latch release. So normally the latch release is actually pointed inward, and it was like literally hitting the tube. So I basically swapped sides. I put this one on that side and that one on this side, and now they operate exactly the same, but they avoid the tube. So that worked out great. I was a little worried there for a second. And then also tomorrow, if the line fitting gets here that I need, I'll start running my AN line to my fuel rail. So I decided that on this fuel rail, I am no longer gonna run the stock plastic line. You know, a lot of people don't complain about the line breaking. We used to see it before on the X3s. It wasn't super common, but it would happen. I'd rather not risk it. We're just gonna run a AN, you know, steel braided line, you know, steel braided with nylon covered line. I'll show you guys that in a second. This is gonna go here. This is gonna convert my dash, I want to say dash 10 into a regular dash 6, which is plenty of fuel for, you know, the horsepower we're going for. And this is our line. I was already, you know, setting it up to get pinched on there. So that's gonna go to the driver's side. We are gonna run a flex fuel sensor on this, because Evo does have these new tunes that allow for adjustability to the tune with the E85 content. Depending on what E85 you got, if you got good E85, it'll give you a better number, better tune, or I mean, it'll adjust tune, which will equal more power. But it also keep you safer. So if you have, you know, poor fuel, poor E85, say it's only E60, it'll adjust the tune so the engine is safe, and that's a big deal for me. So that line's gonna run over there, kind of follow the same path as the others, come down here this way where the stock OEM line used to be, and in this area here, we're gonna figure out how to bolt on this flex fuel sensor with these aluminum brackets that will hold and pinch everything together, and we'll have AN ends on each end, so I can still run the fuel line. And then obviously from there, we're gonna go to the fitting on the pump, and we're gonna use this guy, another ORB 6 to dash AN6, and that will fit perfectly on our Evo. It's hard to see in there, but the Evo fuel hat. So that will, let me see here, that will spin right on, but I don't know if you guys can see it in there, but that'll be that. So is all this stuff necessary? Probably not. This car is gonna get, you know, a little bit of race car vibes, more racy, less stocky, which is kind of what I like, and it just makes me feel better when I drive my machine, knowing that these extra little touches and these extra little things could potentially keep me safe. Like the A+ bar, like the fuel line. Keep my transmission and engine safe with that thicker skid plate we just installed. And then obviously reliability when it comes to the suspension components, the aftermarket arms, better braking, better stopping power. Yeah, so I think that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. We're gonna end it here. Is that freaking door bent or is it like that? Oh man, I need to get some sleep. Let me see this side. No, that's how it is. Woo, I'm losing it. I'm losing it, boys.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Why, good morning. We're filling up our new master cylinder. And you can see all the bubbles coming up already. There's a lot of air trapped in here. What appears to be nice about this master cylinder that we got from J1 or Bribey. These guys appear to have changed the name. I have no idea. There's actual bleed screws up here too. So if I pop this one open, we should have air come out. We'll bleed the air out of it, so we at least have fluid up to this point on the master. So basically it's gonna fill up the whole system, not the whole system, but the majority of the system with fluid. There will still be air trapped in there, so I still have to do the regular way of bleeding at the calipers, but this will at least, you know, get the majority of the air out without me having to, you know, basically pump all that air through the system. So, oh no, we got leakage. Brake fluid is highly corrosive against your paint jobs and powder coats. You got to make sure you keep a water bottle handy or a water hose and dilute it. It dilutes really easily with water. Just got to make sure you wash everything down real good. But we'll let that bleed up about 3/4 of an inch. We'll do the other side. We'll check our pedal and then we'll do all 4 corners. Alright, I think that's the end of this video. We got a lot of progress done. I'm very, very happy in comparison to the start of this video. I was a little bummed out. Now I'm in a good spot. I'm in a good place. The boys over at SF Raceworks had new bushings for me, so I'm going to drop off the arms with them out in Apple Valley. And then CT Raceworks, they let me know they can machine the steering flag. So I put the 2025 rack on there. I'm going to give them, or I already shipped them actually, the steering flag. They'll get that done, ship it back to me, and then I'll have all my components I'll need to reassemble my front end. Perfect. And then when it comes to the rest of the parts that I need welded and modified and fabricated, that'll be done after I assemble the front end. Fuel lines, we got some fittings in. As you can see here, I started running the line. This will go here. And then I have this little skinny guy, which is an AM3. That's going to be for my booster reference. That is already installed on my fuel pump. And here's a better look at the fuel pump setup, right? So we're running the Evo billet hat. Can you see that? And we have this AN6 ORB to AN flare. And then we have the boost line for the adjustable rising rate. And yeah, we're in a good spot. Other things are happening too. We just contacted Evo about possibly doing one of their steering wheels with a snazzy new billet setup and a MMPI steering wheel, carbon fiber paddles, bunch of cool stuff there. The carbon fiber theme on this, you know, traditional style carbon fiber, I like it. So it's gonna look good. We also got these recently. I didn't show them off on video, but these guys, ooh, those go here. Like that. So just a little touch of carbon in the back. Overall, everything else is set up great. I put these rubbers here, so when I slam the door, it's not that big of a deal. Alignments of these plastics still need to be done, but I might pull them off so they don't get damaged when they're welding. So that's it, guys. Appreciate you guys' support as always. We have been working hard on prepping the machines, so when the season starts, we're not working on the cars. Red Bull will be done. Big Blue just needs a tune. The Green Goblin is A1 100% right now. And then that's really it. I mean, the wife's Stormtrooper, the X3, that one has a little bit of coolant leak, but that's a small fix I could do on an off day. Mainly, it's this machine, Green Goblin, and of course we want to get Big Blue back in the sand. But we're in a good position right now to knock this car out, tune the blue car, and the green car is ready to rock today. So extremely excited. Thank you guys as always for the support, and my Patreon members, which we flashed earlier. Let me know what you think of this build. The carbon fiber with the red, I think looks great. Yeah, and then if you don't like me and you're a hater, I got a seat for you. I'm joking. No, but seriously, let me know what you think of the build, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.